Well, let me do this. Oh, Well, uh, hello everybody. This is uh, uh, I'm Thrifty Tim. I'm back. Like I said, I'm not going to be having a show as often. It will be on every other Saturday morning, or the Saturdays my wife works. At this time, those mornings, and until and then I'm only going to be going for 2 hours at the most. Uh, uh, so uh, so that's some of the changes I'm doing, and because I usually don't have my have I usually don't have my migraines till like around in the afternoon. That's another reason why I did have it in the morning, and also with it being on the weekend, that more people might want to come in to check out my streams. Uh, Hi James, thank you. I'll and in a little bit I'll put up the the uh, the thread. You know what I mean for people coming on. That's I think that they've been trying different meds on me and stuff, and so just to get my migraines under better control. But so far they haven't succeeded too much. So and so and but I was going to say, yeah, there's been some over the uh, past week or two. There's been some deaths. A big one with me was uh, uh, I I was shoot. Oh yeah, the one that affected me most was with the death of Gordon Lightfoot. I've been a fan of his uh, for over 50 years now. Uh, yeah, from when I was a teenager, and so no, that's been a good while. And the funny thing is, I didn't know this until later that day that he died. Uh, we have you might hear some background noises. My daughter-in-law out there, and she's our loud. My son, he snores. He works second shift, so he's asleep. And so you might hear some noise from them, but and but anyway, we talked about Gordon Lightfoot. I found out what was it later that day or the following day. I found out that his third wife, she was also his last wife. It looks like they were still married uh, when he died. She graduated from the same high school as me a year after me. And so I texted my sister who graduated a couple years after me and gave her name. She said that the name sounds uh, so she thought it sounded good to having or I should say she had said that the name sounded familiar. So I might have uh, probably knew her back in high school. Her name is shoot, I can't remember. Yeah, that's a bad thing when you have problems like with me. My memory hasn't been the greatest. So I tell you what, I'll just do that. Uh, I'll put up the invite now, and Okay, the link is up. And let's see. Okay, James, if you're still out there, the link is up. And or anybody else that, okay, here's Sir James.
Hello. It's been a long time.
Oh, yeah.
How have you been?
Uh, I still have problems, but at this time of day, I usually don't have migraines this early. Usually, that's one of the reasons I did have a morning time frame,
Wow.
and then also I put it on Saturdays. More people might have a chance to catch this stream.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah, now I've just switched over to 1 day a week. I do my streams on Sundays now
Yeah, I noticed that.
because I have co-host a really good co-host, Dave I am Hot Frog, and his wife is one of my mods in the chat there. So yeah, it's been pretty crazy. I'm
Here's something
happy.
I was looking for.
Now there's the Tim we know with the hat.
Yeah, well, see, my hairline's receding more than I like on here,
Ah,
so
well, you look good. You look good, man.
plus it
So you
cuts.
ready to see some new stuff I got?
Sure.
And I got a lot. Here we go. All right, make me big, please. Okay, first, these are all from different people. Some are from Wasega George, and some are from Dave and his wife Jen. So, first, Wasega George and stuff, which I'll show, and I'll tell you which ones who gave what to me. So, first we have on CD Paul McCartney 3. There's the gatefold. Then we have Paul McCartney Amoeba Gig. There's all the track listing on there.
Where's that one from?
I don't know. LA. It's from LA, but it's from 27th of June 2007.
Okay, that's
I haven't listened to that yet, but I will at some point. Now we get on to the records. Paul McCartney Tug of War.
Yep.
Do you know this album?
Oh yeah.
Yep. Okay, so we got that one. I'm going to flatten them out on the floor like that. That way I can have more room. And next we have Paul McCartney, Pipes of Peace.
Oh yeah, I have that one on cassette.
And then next up we have, okay, this is from my childhood, but our friend AGK had a record auction a few months ago, and so this was up for grabs. And this is a record store day record from 2019, Mickey Mouse Disco. And he bought it for me because, you know, this is part of my childhood. My sister and I used to play this every single day, front to back cover. That's what the record looks like. And next we have Elvis, Moody Blue.
Okay.
Do you have this album?
That one. I can't remember whether I have that one or not. I might.
All right. So we got that one. And then next up we have, this is not the Butcher cover. I wish it was. Hey, Calvin. So we have Yesterday and Today. This is the alternate cover. The tame cover, as they say.
Yeah. The non-butchered cover.
No, I wish I had the Butcher cover. I'd be sitting on a gold mine. Now, I have the UK pressing of this soundtrack. And this one is the US one with the gatefold, but I'm not going to pull it out because it's a hard time getting it back in. So this one is a first press from 1965 of Help.
Okay, yeah. Well, let me show you something real quick since you did that.
Okay. and there's still more coming.
This is the first pressing here. Oh, make me big. This is the first pressing here.
Ooh, Gordon Lightfoot.
Yeah,
Nice.
this is Sit Down Young Stranger.
Ah,
But after if you could read my mind, got onto the top 40 charts, they renamed it to If You Could Read My Mind. And
wow.
so, but this is one way you can tell, early one like the first pressing is where the title's not on the front.
Ah, cool.
I got see, I was got that was DCLT from that fellow YouTuber that his mark his channel is Glass Aftermath. It might be not be even have that one yet, but he does stuff periodically. He
Nice.
usually has a stream some evening during the weekend.
Cool. So now we still got some more records to go through. So make me big. This next one, you both are gonna love this. Calvin's gonna love this one. Now this one I listened to the other day. I've never heard anything like it in my life. It blew my mind. I was like, wow, this is one of the best albums I've ever heard. Days of Future Past.
Of course, my favorite band.
And it's on this label, Duran. And next we have More of the Monkees. And this one has I'm a Believer and I'm Not Your Stepping Stone on this one.
I think I'd like to have that one. I know I have a few monkeys anyway.
Now this is from 1988. She's a Canadian singer from Toronto, actually, and her name's Candy. This was her first debut album back in the day. I had it on cassette, but now I got it on vinyl, and it's on the IRS label.
Hmm.
And next up we have the Platters 20 Greatest Hits, and it has my favorite song, the last one here, Smoke Gets in Your Eyes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, this is a great one. And next we have one of my holy grails. I still need to get Revolver. But I got Rubber Soul.
That's my favorite Beatles album.
And it's on Parlophone in stereo. And it's a 2009 reissue. And they have the 2009 reissue of Revolver, which I want. That's my other holy grail. Well, at least I got one of them. And now we have David Bowie, Ziggy Stardust.
Oh, yeah. I don't have that one.
And look at the label. This is really cool. I've never seen anything like this where it says Bowie.
Oh, it looks like the RCA might have made a custom label for him.
Yeah. And next we have The Doors' Greatest Hits. And this is cool. You're going to like this, Calvin. White vinyl. And this sounds really good. And next up we have the Tommy Dorsey Frank Sinatra Sessions Volume 3, June 27th, 1941, July 2nd, 1942. Now, my friend I Am Hot Prod got me this one because I'm a Frank Sinatra fan, as you know. So it's a 2-disc set. I wish it was a gatefold.
I have a couple of cassettes with Tommy Dorsey and Frank Sinatra.
And next we go to Ringo. This one has this famous song on here. Every time I see your face, it reminds me of a place we used to go.
That's the No song.
No, it's not on this one. It has
I thought it was. I do have that album, so.
And you're going to laugh here. Ringo Starr, I Want to Be Santa Claus. So we got that album. We have a few more albums to go through. Next we have, this is a great album. Wings at the Speed of Sound.
Oh yeah, I remember when that came out. I used to have it before I went into the Air Force. And
This is very minty. Okay, next we have Wings Greatest.
have that on CD.
And then next up we have London Town.
Yeah, I have that.
And this one has my favorite song on here, Cafe on the Left Bank. And next we have...
My favorite McCartney one is Mall of Kintyre.
Yeah, that's on the Wings Greatest. Then we have Ram.
Yeah, I have that.
There's Gatefold. And up next we have some more. I have a lot here, man. This is the most records I've ever shown in my life. Then we have Red Rose Speedway.
Okay.
And this is a soundtrack from a Netflix series called The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel. Music from season 1.
Okay.
And here's the gatefold. And we have my favorite Doors album of all time, LA Woman.
Oh yeah.
That's a great album. And up next we have Billy Joel, The Bridge.
Not sure whether I have that one or not.
This one has that song Modern Woman. Dun, 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 dun,
I don't think I have that one because I was trying to remember what I have on cassette and CD also.
And yes, you know I like heavy metal. Motorhead, Ace of Spades.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
Yep. And then we have 2 more left. And it's the same band twice. We have AC/DC. For those who were about to rock, we salute you.
Yeah, I saw them in concert back in '79 with Bon Scott.
And then next up we have AC/DC, Back in Black.
Oh yeah, I remember when that one came out.
And now you can make me small, because that's on my record haul. Hey, that rhymed.
Okay, see, I know Calvin is only going to be in the peanut gallery today, so.
Yeah, now I gotta try to get all these records standing up again. I don't want them lying over like that, and I don't want to fall off my chair. Can I do this, people, without falling?
Well, did you see that my last regular video that of the music hall I did?
Actually, I didn't get a chance to see it.
Oh, I could show you the albums fast here.
Oh my god. Hold on, I'm just trying to get my stuff all organized here. Everything's falling over the place. Here we go. We're good. We're good. Okay. There. Everything's up right now. And I didn't even fall off my chair. Good. And as you can see, I've got new headphones.
Yeah, I noticed that. Okay. See, with me, I got these for 89 cents a piece. This is Tennessee Ernie Ford. It's a non-Christian one. Or it's one that where he's not singing like hymns and stuff. Okay, here's Merle Haggard, A Big City.
Uh-huh.
Okay, some artists that Steve Sneed has gotten me into some. Sandler.
Oh, yeah. I remember that.
Uh, Jerry Reed, Tupelo, Mississippi Flash.
Ooh.
Now here's one that I was I'd never seen this in the wild, and in that
Ballads of the Green Berets.
they had two copies of this.
Oh, I've never seen that myself either. Something new?
Okay, now here's one I never knew existed. It's the Earl Scruggs reviews,
Ah,
but guest artists in here include Joan Baez, Bonnie
oh,
Bradley, uh,
gotta love Joan Baez.
Johnny Cash, Leonard
Nice.
Cohen, Charlie Daniels, Ron, Ron Cornelius, uh, Jan Fogelberg, Larry Gatlin, Billy Joe, Jim Keltner, Alvin Lee, Roger McGuinn, and Jim Messina. Oh, and Kenny Loggins, that was another one for that. So he had a lot of big name people. Oh, just noticed it. Okay, sorry, Jorgen. I just didn't notice you there.
Hey, Oregon.
Long time no see, Tim.
Yeah, well, I'm going to go back to showing what the elms I picked up on my last talent. Okay. Okay, here's Andy Williams, Born Free.
You called it Calvin. Andy Williams.
Now, here's another. This is just self-titled Andy Williams. TV set Andy Williams are some that like Steve Snee got me back into, because when I was growing up, we used to always watch the Andy Williams show on TV. That's where the Osmond brothers got their start. There's Eddie Williams. You lay so easy on my mind.
Hmm.
Eddie Williams Solitaire. You can always find can usually find a lot of Andy Williams in thrift stores. So get together with Andy Williams.
Wow. That's pretty cool.
Okay, now Ed Ames. More I cannot list you. The Letterman, Love Beach. So I collect their records too. And Dennis Weaver, I didn't even know that he made records. I know him as like Ian McLeod in the old NBC, what, Wednesday Night Mysteries or something like that. It would be like McLeod or Columbo or McMillan and White, stuff like that. And, so that's how I bought that on that day between a couple thrift stores.
Nice.
Okay. So how have you been doing, Jorgen?
Well, it's pretty good. Little pollen problem, but otherwise it is pretty good.
Okay. So have you picked up any new lately?
Since the last time you had 7 months ago, pretty much yes. But I take the one that has been pretty much recently. James has seen some of these, of course, but
I don't mind seeing them again.
starting with what I don't think James have seen, because this is this week's.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so there might be stuff I haven't seen. Cool.
This is I bought this one today actually.
Oh,
Okay.
that's a great album.
Yep, I have that one.
I have it on cassette copy, but I felt like this is such a classic that I listened to much when I was
Tim, make
younger.
them big.
Oh yeah.
I wanted to have it on a real full length also.
Okay.
The
Oh,
Supreme.
the Supremes. Okay.
This is from '76, so this is
Post post Diana Ross.
Yep. And I feel that the 70s Supremes are way underrated. I much rather listen to 70s Supreme than hear Baby Love and Stop in the Name of Love 1 million most time again. So I prefer this one. This is Paul Whiteman, released on RCA's Black and White in a series called Jazz Tribune. Paul Whiteman, one of the most early jazz leaders. This is a double box set, a double album set, sorry.
Wow. Lots of info to read there too.
Yeah. But this is a band information of the members of the plays on each song.
Oh, cool.
This is a Swedish saxophone player called Swedish-Finnish, sorry, he's both nationalities, called saxophonist called Hacke Björksten. I had one record with him before that is really great. This is not as good as that one, but it's still a really great jazz album. Swedish saxophone player Arne Domnerus. This is really great oldie stuff, released on one of my favorite jazz labels, Dragon Records.
I've never heard of that label before.
It is a label that is run, among others, by members of the Swedish radio. It is a label that releases only Swedish jazz. Now we're coming to that stuff that James have seen. A compilation with Katrina and the Waves.
Okay. I remember them from back in the 80s.
I'm walking on sunshine. Whoa.
But this is a proof that they were a whole lot more than walking on sunshine.
Mm-hmm.
A compilation by the Thompson Twins.
Okay.
Cool.
Sugar Cube. Yeah.
I have Thompson Twins album with Hold Me Now on it.
Yeah. Sugar Cubes is Icelandic group that were the band where Björk started her career.
Okay.
This is the final album that they released before Björk released her solo debut called Debut. Then I have also gotten a whole lot of stuff from the Norwegian guy, but for those you can check on my opening videos. We have some Ian Jury in the Blockheads.
Okay.
We have something called A Pure Love and Pleasure, a record of pure love and pleasure. This is doesn't say when it is, but I think it is late 60s, early 70s. I was a little bit afraid that this would be that kind of a hippie hallelujah thing, like Les Humphrey Singers and stuff like that, the New Seekers. But this is actually very groovy. It reminds maybe a little of Chicago and Blood, Sweat and Tears at some moments. A little heard.
So some horn rock in it, huh?
Pardon?
Some horn rock.
Yeah, definitely a lot of horns in this one. So it's when I listened to quick peeks of it, it surprised me of how interesting and groovy it sounded. This is Mikael B. Tretov. Is a Swedish engineer and producer, and his album Let's Boogie from 1976. He's mostly famous for being the producer and engineer of all ABBA's records.
Oh, okay.
And ABBA is also returning the favor by having all members participating in these songs. This album.
Okay.
Benny Andersson, Björn Ulvaeus is mentioned here, and Agneta Fältskogen and Annette Lindstad. All the members are here. This is a funky one. Mother's Finest.
Yeah.
And another Mother Further. A couple of these songs I heard in Swedish. Maybe it does. Maybe it does. If you take a listen to Arne Domneros, Calvin, to this guy here, and listen to and compare him to like Johnny Hodges or Common Hawkins, you will hear that it might be he's a lot smoother. Mother's Finest is a band. I heard 2 songs in the Swedish radio when I was younger. Didn't pay much attention to it then, but it grown on me, and I listened to it, and boy, does this is really, really funky. Funk rock, might call it, in its absolute best form. I'm no fan of funk rock, but this is definitely an exception. We have a live album that I bought. This is Al Stewart live.
Okay, I like Al Stewart. I have not seen that album.
This is his first live album, Indian Summer. I hate when they...
Yeah.
And this is a double album set, and it contains side 1 of the first record is a studio side where he has actually recorded some new songs.
Okay.
Back in 1981. I'm not going to say that these songs are as good as Year of the Cat or Time Passages, because those albums are magnificent, but they also have Alan Parsons involved in it. But there are okay, good new songs. But the live side, because side 2 on first record and the entire second album, there are live sides, and they are actually really, really good, relaxing, and really, really great live. So he definitely works in a live album format also. Highly recommended. We have a Swedish group called Iceland.
They're Swedish, but they're calling themselves Iceland, huh?
Yeah. And it gets even more interesting that they're containing brothers. 3 of the members are brothers called Giflason, which also sounds very Icelandic in the name. So, but still, from what I've read, very little information about it. They released this album only. Also some song that I've heard on Swedish radio when I was younger, so this was a blind buy, but it sounds the quick peeks I heard sounds very much like a Swedish Eagles, a little AOR Swedish style, and it's definitely really, really interesting.
Okay.
We have Urals.
Oh,
Solon.
And
you don't
this
have
is
to say anymore with Urals.
pardon?
Don't have to say anymore Urals, just with
Yeah.
his deep voice and stuff.
But this is not from his regular soul album. This is from 1966. So this is before he started doing soul music. So here he sings jazz.
Oh, okay.
With arranged and conducted by H.B. Barnum. I never heard of that leader, but it sounds really, really interesting. Very, very great swinging stuff when I listen to quick peeks of it. We have some Jackson Browne.
Yeah, I like Jackson Browne. I don't have that one. I didn't even know about that album.
It is from 1988, 89.
Okay. Late 80s. Okay, that's a good reason why.
But I haven't listened to quick peeks of these yet, but I like Jackson Browne, so it's going to be very, very interesting.
Yeah, I like Jackson Browne also.
Yeah, the following 5 is from a package price I did at a car boot sale. the one who sold 5 records for $5. So I picked also up a Heaven 17, some 80s new wave stuff from 1986.
Okay.
Going into some jazz, this is Wild Bill Davis and Johnny Hodges. And Wild Bill Davis playing the organ.
Okay.
This is, I have some records by this duo since before. So it's a very, very fun to have. We have Charlie Barnett's Big Band, Manhattan. I think I said before when I think Calvin showed up Charlie Barnett, and I said then that I normally prefer Charlie Barnett in a little older stuff, but it was so cheap, and I like Charlie Barnett. He has really, really great swing in his big band, so I definitely couldn't resist this one.
Yeah. That's understandable.
Now, when I've gotten CDs from my Norwegian friend now, I've been drowning in Moody Blues CDs. So
Can't go wrong with Moody Blues in my books.
Pardon?
Can't go wrong with the Moody Blues in my books.
I think he's trying to sell me something.
Yeah, is he a Moody Blues fan also?
Yeah, but I the long distance. I listened to one of them. The long distance.
On Distance Voyager, yeah, that's a good album.
That is a really, really great one. So
Yeah.
it's never wrong. But I have a feeling that he will send this one on CD also sooner or later. But I felt like I wanted one on vinyl at least, so I bought this one.
I have
Okay,
that one too.
yep. I have that one. Well, I have around all their albums through the mid '80s.
And this one I also bought a while back.
Grateful
Okay,
Dead.
Dead.
I've never been a huge fan of Grateful Dead before, but this is from 1987, so something said to me that I should give this a try, and it actually is far better than I could imagine. It is actually some relaxing adult radio rock. I definitely think this is really, really good.
I have their live album of theirs. It's a 2-album set that's and doesn't show a title on it really, except for the Grateful Dead. But people call it the Skull and Roses one, and it's you'd probably like it too.
I can do some fast about some that I have shown that I bought during this year that you haven't seen yet. We have Lou Rawls of the more classic style.
Okay. Yeah, wearing a tux there. And
This is a Philly release. We have Hall and Oates.
oh yeah, I've been picking their stuff up when I find it for a good price.
This is from 1977.
Nice.
I don't have that one.
The Best of the Spinners.
Oh yeah, I like the Spinners. See, you're in my favorite decade, the '70s, with the Huskies.
Yep. We have something that makes James drooling.
Oh yes, Cat People.
We have a Count Basie.
Okay.
We have a British new wave synth pop band that I have very little by, but the quick fix had it sounded very, very interesting. Fox to Fox.
I haven't heard of them either.
The first song there, Precious Little Diamond, is the most famous song. I think it was their only hit, actually. This one I bought. I don't know if you've seen this, Cold Cut. I bought this. This is some British house music.
Okay.
This is
Oh.
Queen.
So comedy.
Yeah, Quincy Jones. I bought this one for Quincy Jones, and we have also J.J. Johnson composed and arranged. So I never heard of the movie though.
And had signed by Bill Withers.
Yeah, it says so. Yes. We had some while we at it.
Quincy Jones.
You got it, bad girl, and here we have the creme de la creme of musician. As always, when Quincy Jones is involved, there are so many big names here. We have Phil Woods, we have George Duke, we have Ashford and Simpson, we have Hubert Laws, you have Cat Anderson, Toots Thielemans, creme de la creme. And we're continuing on the road of Quincy Jones, compilation of the Brothers Johnson. Released, of course, produced by Quincy Jones.
Okay.
John Kirby, musician that is a little bit lost. His band is called The Biggest Little Band in the Land. They did some great, little unusual arrangement and managed to do some great jazz versions of some classical music also. So this is been a little bit of fan of them. Fletcher Henderson, Study in Frustration. I have part 2 since before. This is part 4.
Oh, okay. So you need to have parts 1 and 3, huh?
Yep. The interesting thing is that part 2 looks exactly the same, with exception from that it says volume 2. So they haven't done one thing to do a different picture for each and every part.
Right.
Which means that it's pretty easy to miss it, to think that, okay, I have this one. This is a soul singer that I never heard of before, but it was produced by Holler Dozier Holland, so I took a little risk of it. Laura Lee. I Can't Make It Alone. A little connection to Quincy Jones here. This is Swedish big band leader Harry Arnold and his Swedish Studio Radio Orchestra. Quincy Jones lived in Sweden for many years, and he did some recordings, a lot of recordings where he arranged and produced Harry Arnold and the Swedish Studio Orchestra. A really great album called Quincy's Home Again, among others, have Harry Arnold released. Now we're into records that I bought at the record fair this spring. Clark Terry and Bob Brookmeyer Quintet. We have Stan Getz.
Nice.
Rufus. I'm soon getting. I think I'm one record from having complete of Rufus.
Oh, okay.
And it's the first one that I'm missing. The first one with the Rufus and Chaka Khan. Mick Fleetwood Sue.
Ooh. I don't have any Mick Fleetwood solo ones. I know he had like 1 or 2 anyway.
I have one since before, that one with Africa on. But this is it is Fleetwood Mac members is participating here. You have Lisa Buckingham is doing here. I think that Christine McVie is here also. So.
Yeah. I was going to ask if Bob Welch was on there too, because Bob Welch was in Fleetwood Mac for a while in the 70s also.
It doesn't say anything about Welch, but maybe he is. We have Gary Newman.
Okay, yeah. Cars.
Yeah, this is not that album. This is the album after that.
Oh, okay.
This is actually my first Gary Newman album, believe it or not. Stevie Wonder,
Okay.
Original Music Forum. This is a kind of compilation and different takes and so on. So it's a little odd stuff here. And I can take this also. We have Katrina and the Waves again, this time with an album called Break of Hearts. I have a feeling that this might be Katrina and the Waves' best albums because it contains Rock and Roll Girl and That's the Way, and that's are some of their best albums. Proves that Katrina and the Waves is a whole lot more than Walking on Sunshine.
There's a lot of bands like that you come across.
Yeah. I can take some Cataloma Orchestra. Have some Portrait of New Orleans Jazz. This is the Norwegian friend sent me that.
Okay.
And normally I'm not that much into great Dixieland jazz, but this is I'm into a phase also now when I'm listening a whole lot to jazz from early jazz recordings from the 20s, and this is only recordings from the 20s. So this is for that is right up my alley, even though it is an MCPS release that I don't really like. And have you seen such small such small letters?
Dang, you need a magnifying glass for that one, Jorgen.
Yeah. I wonder what they were thinking.
I keep this on my desk. Right here, or a magnifying glass.
Yeah. My Norwegian friends sent me a whole lot of Quadromania releases. These are 4 CD box sets with different jazz musicians. This is Coleman Hawkins, Lester Young, Johnny Dodds, and with Ben Webster. Among that, I also got this one. This is a card that I got. It's Louis Armstrong and Danny Kaye with Red Nichols in the back.
Okay.
Wow, that's cool.
And we have Goldfrapp, that is a British little new wave-ish band of modern days. This is from their first album from 2000, released on Mute, which is a band, a label that was Depeche Mode's label for the label they released records on for many, many years. So that is among what I have bought since the past 7 months.
Well, Jorgen, I have to say, Days of Future Past, I listened to the other day. Amazing. Blew my mind. You're going to love that album.
Days of Future Past, that is...
Moody Blues. The
Moody
CD you got there.
There's 7 inches I can show also. We have Randy Crawford. Why? This is from the Nightline album. This is an EP I bought just recently. I didn't buy it for Louis Armstrong. I bought it. I like Johnny Hodges, so that one is interesting. I bought it mainly for Paul Smith Trio because Paul Smith, Calvin. Paul Smith is the pianist that plays behind Ella Fitzgerald in her famous Ella in Berlin album. We have a Tommy Dorsey with Jimmy Dorsey. We have a Dr. Hook, which is a very interesting one. Nothing on the B side because this is a special release, bonus release, not for sale, where they make jokes, interviews, and so on. This is also released on 33 RPM.
Okay.
This is a bonus that was fun to have.
Yeah, I like Dr. Hook, so I have a few of their albums anyway. Oh, and Murray, of course.
Yeah, it's my first Anne Murray 7 inch. We have Billy Joel singing Beatles.
Back
Okay.
in USSR.
He does a good job with that song.
Yeah, it's a really rocky one. I have this one without a sleeve, so I wanted one with a real sleeve. Danny Goodman.
Okay.
Isley Brothers.
Yeah. Okay.
Isley, Jasper Isley is a breakout group from Isley Brothers. They're mostly famous for the Caravan of Love song that House Martins had a hit with.
Okay.
And we have Inner Circle, Bad Boys from the series.
Bad boys, what you gonna do?
Yep. Bob Marley, Iron Lion Sign, released in '92. My first and I think only Bob Marley that I'm interested in.
Some reggae.
Yeah. This is interesting. This is Warner Brothers album. Warner Brothers release.
Have you shown that one on Doc's channel?
Pardon?
Have you shown that one on Doc's channel?
I have, yes.
Okay. I figured Doc probably like that because with Looney Tunes.
Yeah, I bought it for the for it's fun thing to have. This is Mel Blanc who does the voice for he did the voice for these three cartoons. I'm very happy. Color this drawing with crayons or paints. I'm very glad that no kid has taken that advice under consideration.
I don't blame you.
Yeah. Keep it nice and fresh and minty.
Yeah. Shorty Rogers.
Okay.
This one I've shown way back. I think I have shown now most that I have bought actually. The autumn was very slow. The start of the winter has been also pretty slow, but now it's starting to get really good because there has been some great months now in April and May.
And Calvin's got some trivia for us, Tim.
Yeah, I'm not sure of that one.
I'm going to go with the New York Mets.
I know nothing about baseball, so I'm lost here.
I'm going to take a guess. Calvin say New York Mets.
If I said anything, I'd say the Cardinals.
Do some cleaning here.
You got Queen.
Okay.
Albatross is actually I have given Fleetwood Macs of the '60s a chance. I have a CD that combines some tracks from the '60s and some Christine McVie before she went to Fleetwood Mac. And,
Yeah, that's some Chicken Shack.
Yeah, Christine McVie part is really, really great, but the '60s Fleetwood Mac is too blues for me. I have a hard time getting into that, so I will Fleetwood Mac for me is the '70s or '80s, or after that.
That's British blues band that I like is Climax Blues Band.
Yeah, I have one record by them. The one with couldn't get it right.
Yeah. And they have so much other music that's a lot better than that song. So James, have you streamed much lately?
Have I what?
Streamed much lately? Okay, yeah, I have that. I'm talking about movies and stuff.
Oh, I stream every Sunday at 1 p.m. I only go once a week because back in May I passed out. So I was doing it every night and it was taking too much toll on me. So I said once a week is good for me. But during the week, I do the little odd vlog here or there, or unboxings or whatever, or record reviews. And now I'm doing interviews.
Yeah, I noticed that. Okay. Oh, I was. Now I saw Calvin's response to that trivia question, and I forgot what I was going to say.
Oh,
Oh,
Seattle Mariners. Huh.
yeah. See, I saw a movie. I think it's called Devotion or Devoted. It's based on a true story about the Korean War, the beginning of the Korean War,
Huh.
which was pretty interesting. And it's based on a true story. It's about some Navy pilots,
Oh, wow.
and one of them is black, and he befriends him and what like I become good friends and stuff. They pretty much were best friends there on the base they were at. So
I watched a good movie a couple months back. It's directed by Steven Spielberg. It's about a Jewish family, and their son wants to get into filmmaking. It's called Meet the Fablemans.
okay,
2.5 hours, and it was amazing. I loved the movie.
and but Calvin would like this. I've been watching some of John Wayne's later movies, like The Shootist and True Grit. I've I have caught a little bit of the Cowboys when I was turning around channels and stuff, but
Ah. Well, I recently got to Clint Eastwood westerns. I'll get them. Hold on.
have you watched much for movies lately, Jorgen?
Not that much older Swedish movies. I watched some animated though. I watched Sherlock Holmes and the Baskerville Curse animated. It was really good.
Okay.
Doctor Strange and Sorcerer Supreme also great, and Ultimate Avengers also. So the features I watch is mainly animated.
There's nothing wrong with that.
But there are some really great, as long as it's cartooned and not DreamWorks.
2 Meals for Sister Sarah with Shirley MacLaine. And High Plains Drifter.
Okay. So have you watched them yet?
No, I haven't watched them yet, but I've seen them before. Yeah, you can make it small.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but as long as it is cartooned and not those kind of animated like Walt Disney's done lately, I'm very happy with it. And there have been some really great cartooned stuff in the crisscross between 1990s and 00s.
Yeah.
That's right, Calvin. I fell on my head when I was a child. Didn't I tell you that?
My son had done that when he was little. We were at a bowling alley. This is over in Germany on a base that my wife's sister and brother-in-law were at the time. And we went, I got bowling with them. Well, my son had started standing on a chair. He was like 1 or 2 at the time. And he fell off and hit his head, but he was okay. So,
well, that's good.
How's your migraines? Is it getting better?
Not really. They're about the same, but that's why I do this in the morning now is because I usually don't get them as much until in the afternoon. Yeah, so.
Yeah, this is fun to do this every once in a while on a Saturday. It gives me something to do. It's fun.
Well, I'm going to be pretty much doing it every other Saturday. Saturdays my wife's working.
Yeah.
And they look at it this way. You probably remember as kids how on TV you'd have around any state channel you turned to had cartoons. Now there's nothing like that. You'd have to have cable like for the Cartoon Network and stuff like that. And,
Yeah, kids will never know the classic cartoons that we all grew up with.
yeah.
I think that Disney and Pixar and stuff, it looks like it's kind of a puppet show with puppets they have been making film movies with.
Kids these days aren't watching cartoons. They're like this on their phones. Beep, 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 you know?
Mm-hmm. And they don't know what it's like where they can just sit back and watch on their TV. And,
Unless you get all the classic cartoons on DVD or Blu-ray and show it to
yeah.
your kids, like all the Bugs Bunny Roadrunner hour shows.
Or on Boomerang, which I think done by the same people as Cartoon Network, but they show older cartoons on there.
Yeah, I like the older cartoon stuff, you know, like what I grew up watching in the 70s, like all like Scooby-Doo and all that good stuff.
Yeah.
Kids these days will never know what classic cartoons were like.
Yeah.
They won't know the excitement of waking up early in the morning, getting your bowl of cereal, running downstairs to the TV, turning it on, and just watching hours and hours of cartoons.
Right. Until around noon, anyway.
Yeah. And then at noon, I would go upstairs. My dad would make us hot dogs on our little black and white TV in the kitchen. We'd watch Maple Leaf Wrestling with Mad Dog Show.
And I was even used to it where, okay, you have that not all the networks showing sports on Saturday afternoons. Like there'd be a couple of channels that would there, and then there'd be one that would show like old movies in the afternoon.
Yeah, and I remember every Saturday at 4:00, my dad would have his beer, and me and my sister would watch the skiing on there with my dad on Wide World of Sports.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Down, da, da, down, da, down. That was the theme song from Wide World of Sports.
Yeah, but see, CBS Sports Spectacular for a while. Their theme song was by ELO, part of their Face of Music album.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Because it's one with the guitar where I think it's but so I always remembered that, and whenever I spin that, it makes me think of that. So,
I remember when I was younger in the 80s, mid 80s, there was a show Saturday morning called Good Morgon Sverige, Good Morning Sweden, and it was morning show with a host and guests and music, but they had also for kids they showed one cartoon, 5-minute cartoon like Woody Woodpecker or Looney Tunes or stuff like that, and they also had one part with where they showed one music video in a segment called Morgon Rock, Morning Rock. And for me, I spent a whole morning watching that only to see that cartoon and see that music video. That's how we starved we were with music videos in Sweden back then, when we only had 2 channels to watch in the 80s.
Yeah.
Whoa, there are music on television. 1 song in a week.
And I guess that was your only Saturday morning cartoon you could get.
Yeah, because when it comes to Sweden back then, we had to do a deal with Walt Disney, and the only deal they had in Swedish television was for Christmas, to show that Christmas special 1 hour every year, 3:00 on Christmas.
Oh yeah, the one from all of us to all of you.
Yeah,
Merry Christmas.
That was the only back then the only Walt Disney they could show due to rights of Walt Disney. We were also pretty starved on great cartoons,
Yeah.
at least from Walt Disney.
Yeah.
Well, another one that would be on Saturday mornings, it would be like 11 o'clock my time, something like that. That was on ABC, the American Bandstand
I remember that. Yeah.
with Dick Clark.
Mm-hmm. And I saw Dick Clark's podium from American Bandstand when I was in Memphis
Okay,
at the Rock and Soul Museum.
okay.
That was pretty cool.
Yeah, but that was one of the ways that newer bands that could get the attention and stuff.
And that's where all the teenagers introduced all the new dance crazes that were going around in the 60s.
Yeah, 60s and 70s. Well, it actually started like in the 50s, if I remember right.
Well, yeah, I think so. But the funniest dance I've ever seen them doing the 50s or 60s was the bird. And they go like this and they go back and they go down
Yeah.
like this. It's almost
Well,
like they're having a fit or something.
I figure Jorgen's might have danced before to the chicken dance and the chicken dance.
You mean the bird dance? The bird dance.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the bird dance, yeah.
I know that's popular in Europe.
I haven't done 7-inch in Swedish and French.
Okay.
While you're on your hiatus, Tim, I did a stream on a Sunday with everybody, and I was celebrating 50 years of James Bond, and I was talking with Jorgen because Jorgen was on the panel that day, and we were talking about this piece of music that I heard in the 80s, and I taped it off the radio. Who are you? What's your name? Remember that one? My name is Bond. James Bond. Bond. You don't remember that one?
I don't remember that one.
Made by Italian group Zino. They they had a dance loop and they put samples from Goldfinger and Diamonds Are Forever.
Okay.
You should look it up, Tim. It's really cool.
I might.
How do we get those diamonds down from up there?
So I know Jorgen isn't a fast reader. Have you finished that book yet that you were reading last year?
Which book are you talking about?
I can't remember. You showed one book. It was like a biography of a group or something like that.
You mean the Depeche Mode biography?
Yeah.
Yeah, that one is finished. Yes.
Okay.
I highly recommend it. Highly recommend it.
Well, I'm in the middle of reading one that I got for Christmas, but I'm waiting for the nice weather so I could go sit outside and finish it. Bono of U2. It's how he created the group U2 and his relationship with his father and stuff like that. And it's really good so far.
Okay. Well, Calvin, you would have laughed at see. I got to Germany at the end, like just after a couple days after Memorial Day in '85, and that 4th of July, my roommate and one of his friends and I went and saw the fireworks there on base. Just that before we had went to that, we had been drinking around all day.
Mm.
We were rating the fireworks, but it wasn't too appropriate stuff for around kids.
Oh, I can imagine. So, Tim, what did you think when were you shocked when Jeff Beck passed away?
Oh yeah, I was surprised with that too. I have 2 or 3 of his albums too. Like I have Beckola. And I can't remember the other one.
Yeah, I did a tribute stream to Jeff Beck. If you look through my streams,
Okay.
yeah,
I only have one Jeff Beck record, Flash.
I don't have any Jeff Beck records. Wish I did, but he was more like a session guitarist. He's played with practically every band.
Yeah.
Interesting thing is that he released a single just a couple of months or something like that before he died. He released a single where he played with Ozzy Osbourne.
Wow.
And actually, that song with Ozzy Osbourne, I'm no fan of Ozzy whatsoever, but that was one of the best things I've heard with Ozzy Osbourne.
And he also played with Johnny Depp.
I have one Ozzy Osbourne album that's Blizzard of Oz. But I do have a Black Sabbath the compilation album, a 2 LP compilation album where Ozzy is lead singer of it yet.
I feel like the day I buy something by Ozzy Osbourne, I must be pretty sick. It's definitely not my. Well, if you're going to talk reading, the thing I'm reading right now is mostly comics. I read this.
Okay.
This is a series Egmont book label that I'm been releasing different kind of issues of Donald Duck and Company, the magazine that they have in Sweden.
I think so, Calvin.
And releasing it every issue from every year. So this is the part 5 from 1959.
Okay.
So it's
Wow.
Yeah, see, with me, here's the book I'm currently reading. It's Matlock Paper by Robert Ludlum.
It's about Matlock?
No, it's not that. It's from 73, this book. And Matlock is the last name of a guy that's a professor at university, and the government comes to him to see if he try to help them out by finding who's pretty much operation at the college. So, just about him at now. Must be one referring. Okay. Okay. Everybody back now?
Oh, yeah, we're good. Yeah, you froze for a couple of seconds and your audio went out a little bit.
Well, see, each of you had gone out separately. It goes through buffering, but I got it to.
Nothing happened on my end here. I was okay, and Jorgen looked okay.
For once, I had no problem.
Me too.
This is one that I was having a lot of buffering problems on before this computer. I just don't have much opened up on here now.
Yeah.
I just have YouTube on here along with StreamYard, and the YouTube is just with my subscriptions. So.
Ooh, I forgot. Next Friday, I'm going with my sister and her new boyfriend to the Fredericton Playhouse to see an Elvis impersonator concert called Elvis Tour. And I looked the guy up online. He sounds like Elvis. He wears the jumpsuits. He does all the moves and everything. I'm gonna put the link for it in the private chat so you can take a look at it. Let's see here. Here we go. Just gotta find it.
Yeah, see how I saw a group before my son and I. It was a group called Red Zeppelin. They like their sing. The lead singer would dress up like Elvis, and he did a good imitation of him. But then they'd also do like Led Zeppelin songs too.
Oh yeah, that was funny.
And the guitarist, his name, the nickname is, he goes by Butt Boy, because his pants usually come off sometime during the show. Well, he didn't do that when we saw them. It was his 50th birthday that day, so
Ah, okay, I got it.
okay. I'll try watching it after the show. And
Okay, hold on a second. There you go.
okay,
Well, otherwise, I've been into a very strange phase. I've been into a phase where I'm enjoying a lot of the Smurfs. Not cartoons, but
oh yeah, the
comic-
movie and stuff. Yeah.
the comics. The comics
Oh,
by Theo. Those are actually really good. Very drawing. That they have better humor than all the cartoons and everything. So I enjoy Theo's Smurfs a whole lot, as I do like these Belgian comics. This is the Purple Smurfs that it is called in USA, I think.
I remember when you showed me that one last Saturday, I think.
And this I bought today. This is the first one.
okay. Oh, you can tell you're into the Smurfs.
Yeah.
So if it is the Peyo's cartoon, I like them because Peyo has really great humor.
Well, what was funny is, okay, we were having AC problems. They were finally resolved the other day, but they had to replace the condenser for our AC, and a guy from one of the companies that did estimate for what it would cost for replacing the condenser. Uh, well, anyway, he came. He was wearing a blue jacket and a company name on it, Smurf Inc.
Ah,
This is really funny. This is egg and Smurfs. It is this egg that if you pot on it and wish something, you get what you wish. It's a magic egg.
oh
And
wow.
it creates chaos, and this is one of the best things. I have one here that doubt what am I going to wish. Well, I have no idea what I'm going to wish, and then the other ones get a little annoyed that it takes so time. So once he said, go to hell," which it does literally. Very interesting pictures when it comes to a children cartoon.
Well, I'm responding to Calvin's comment here. Calvin, when you saw them, did Butt Boy drop his pants during the show any?
Jorgen, do you have this album?
No, only the athletics one, the gymnastic one.
And here's what the back looks like.
I'll do this real quick.
There's Donald Duck, and so the songs on here are Disco Mickey Mouse, Welcome to Rio, The Greatest Band, Zippity Doo Dah, Macho Duck, Mousetrap, Watch Out for Goofy, It's a Small World, and Chim Chim Cheree. And I like the way the album looks like that.
Well, it can be good, it can be cult, it can be really horrible. It can be anything.
Well, I had this album as a kid.
Hmm.
Because I always remember the song "Welcome to Rio."
Well,
And my sister and I would dance to it and everything.
Well, as you know, I do have the gymnastic ones, the gymnastic one in Swedish.
And this one, the one I just showed you, is from 1979, and it was reissued in 2019 for Record Store Day. All right, make me small.
Okay.
Assuming that is 70s disco on it.
Yeah. Just give me a second, guys. I'm gonna put my records back so I don't trip over them because they're sliding all
Okay.
over the place. Hold on.
Yeah, you don't want to step on any of them.
No.
Because they're not indestructible.
I have some 78s I can show that is that I haven't shown that was really, really odd.
Okay.
If I can
Here,
find
oops, picked the wrong one. I showed brought James' chair up.
this I found a couple of months ago. This is a 78 with Western blues.
Okay.
Louis Armstrong, and if you take a little closer look, how this label has been spelled Hot 5 with F.
Oh,
And we have Eddie Lang Orchestra at the B side, Eddie Without Knee. Might think that this is some kind of a funny goof, but this is a label called Odeon Swing Music Series. It is a German pressing. It was released in Germany during the war, and Hitler was not that big on jazz, you might know. So they had to release this pretty much under the table for the German government wouldn't get hold of it. So they released these to the countries they were in war with or that were net neutral in the war. This is records that are made that are released little behind Hitler's knowing.
well, let me do this real fast, because I think oh wait, I'm trying to.
Howdy.
Oh, at least this time it wasn't your chair.
Yeah.
Yeah, Calvin, I bet your favorite song is Here's probably my favorite Sesame Street song too. See Us for a Cookie.
Oh wow.
Oh,
I can see him disco dancing.
No, but this is a really, really interesting, fun to have for curiosity, to have as a special thing because of the history it has.
now you're done. Okay. Okay.
Mhm. So Tim, the big question of the day now: how does it feel to be back in action?
Feels good. I've been missing it, but also when I'm in pain, it's not fun doing. Plus,
No.
I have darker glasses on now too. They had told me this is around the darkest they had before I would have been considered like blind,
Mm-hmm.
because bright lights affect me quite a bit. So
Yeah. Yeah, I was surprised when Calvin sent me the link for your intro that you're coming back to live streaming. I was like, oh boy. And I said, oh well, I hope it's at a time that I can make it. And sure enough, it was.
Well, I knew it before Calvin sent. Actually, I saw your announcement video before.
Well, I didn't. I only found out from Calvin. Yeah, and I was surprised when I sent you when I told you that he was live, Jorgen, that I didn't think you were going to come. I didn't think you were around.
It's earlier in the day for him now.
It sure is. It's 5. It's when we started. When you started. It was 4:00 in the afternoon here.
Okay.
And I was getting just in time to. I got in because Saturdays normally I'm out running. But I got in time. So it's definitely a pretty good time actually, better than everything being stacked in the evenings.
And like I said, it's every other Saturday, so there's a week off in between each of them also. And so you don't need to like hurry home on those Saturdays. You can stay out later and stuff and
Yeah.
you're running around.
Well, nowadays I work also, so I have to get in bed pretty much earlier than before.
Yep. And
He has to test all these weird things,
I'm electronic
like
tester.
lamps and stuff like that.
I test electronic stuff at a second-hand store in the back.
okay.
And yesterday he told me somebody sent a dirty toaster that they didn't even clean. I bet you didn't test that, eh, Jorgen? You just said, okay, this is going bye-bye.
Exactly. I cut the wire and just threw it away. I'm trying to clean that piece of garbage.
Remember the time you got that dirty microwave?
Yeah, and after that, I was fun a few times. I became sick, so somebody else had to clean it.
Was it somebody trying to microwave a cat in it or something?
I don't know. I think definitely a lot of people who gives away stuff, at least when it comes to electronics, is trying to use us as a garbage place, so they don't have to go to the garbage, huge garbage place to throw it.
Right.
Costs money, so they think they can freely dump it on us.
Yeah. Not so the truth.
So I don't think during the past weeks I've seen so many lamps that it's been so full of crap that have been so horrible. They don't work or anything. So I haven't cut so many wires as the past weeks.
Well, my wife picked up a clock for my daughter at a thrift store because my daughter's getting a new office at work, and she was going to have it in there. It's a wooden clock. It's sort of nice looking and stuff, but it's runs on a battery. A battery was
Tim, raise your camera a bit. You're so low. You're
well.
you're
Actually, I can't. I'm trying to stand in the middle. Just that if I'm closer up, it's big.
I would rather suggest you lowers the camera instead of raise it.
Yeah, but my wife picked up this clock. She put it in our bedroom until we go up there tomorrow after tomorrow after my wife gets off work. We're going up to my daughter's. Well, anyway, she didn't think anything about it. There was a battery in it. It started going off when I was when I was trying to rest and was watching some TV in our bedroom. And I told her, "Hey, you need to take that out before you're going to bed tonight."
Yeah.
Well, the interesting thing is that I had this pretty much the same. I also tested electronics around 2009 to 2012 at another thrift store. And that was pretty cool. I mean, I tested it, works, put it out, doesn't work, cut the wire, throw it away. That was pretty it. And it was basic stuff. It was lamps, it was microwaves, it was basic stuff. But now when I'm back to doing it many years later, I realize how much after I'm in, because it's coming in electronic stuff that I have no idea what it is. The time has really run away when it comes to development of electronic stuff. I have a lot of stuff I had to ask, what is this kind of stuff?
Do you get to look through the records there too when they had come in?
I don't have the record. I don't have the record part, but as I also am at, I'm not in a store actually. I'm just in
warehouse.
Oh, okay.
Sitting and testing. So I'm not the one who as I'm not in store, I can't buy it. So I feel like maybe it's for the better that I don't handle the records, because if I see something that I have and this thrift store has 5 different places in the district, and I don't know which one the record will go to. If I can't buy it, then it's mostly good that I can't sort it out because
Yeah, because you probably want half the
buy it,
stuff
I
in
would
there,
not like,
maybe.
where it's going. I want this record, but I can't get it, so I don't know where. So I'm pretty satisfied that I don't have the records at this time.
But the coolest thing you told me, Jorgen, is when you had that goofy telephone.
Yeah, and it's not there anymore, so I can't take pictures of it.
What was with the telephone?
It was goofy.
Oh, the dog.
Yeah, the Disney Goofy
Hey, Davey.
Hi, Davey.
in form of a telephone.
Yep, Davey, the gang is back together.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
all but sure.
They come in with some strange things that is really, really odd and so on. That is really good. So that's what I like about working the thrift stores, because you never know what's going to come in.
Yeah. And see, we just go to them periodically. I've known people that other vinyl collectors, or they go in almost daily to the thrift stores, like on their lunch break and stuff, to see if they got any new vinyl in.
How often you go thrifting, Tim?
Not too often. This one was my daughter was off. Or actually, it was my daughter's birthday, and she was off, so she wanted to go some of the thrift stores down here around us, because we have several Salvation Army thrift stores and a couple of Goodwill thrift stores. So,
Oh, yeah.
and see, my wife and I have one section that we all like looking in are the books. So,
Did they have any records there?
At the Goodwill, I didn't see any, but at the two Salvation Armies we stopped at, that's where I got all those records that I showed earlier.
Yeah, you got to be careful when you go to certain Salvation Armies or thrift stores. Do they really care about the records, or they're just shoving them in? They don't care what condition they're in.
Just shoved in, but they've gotten better, or they don't just have them all in a box. They pretty much have like racks for them now, and they have them higher up so I can look through them easier.
I would say that they are two different kind of sellers when it comes to the thrift stores and flea markets when it comes to records. Either those that don't give a damn about it, they just put them in the box and don't bother to check on the quality or anything. Or you have those that think that everything that now, when vinyl is hip again, that everything that is black and is put on a turntable are gold, and they take overpriced for stuff that isn't worth 5 cents even.
Calvin, good one.
I might just have to make a CD for Calvin, make it now Andy Williams music.
Moon River, wider than a mile.
That's right.
Yep.
And then there are a few that actually cares and knows about records. So there are a few also that are good.
Yeah, well, sometimes it looks like when people donate them, it's usually like after father or mother died, and they take out their records to and donate them.
Oh, those are really good box sets, Davey. Those things.
But the problem is that a lot of stuff, people now are getting more and more known. getting more knowledge about the records, so they know what is a dollar bin worth and what actually is could be worth anything. So that is why they're getting the more interesting stuff is getting on Discogs and eBay and so on. So a lot more less interesting stuff that I found at thrift stores nowadays.
Yeah, but with me, one thing I hate is they close a half-price books outlet store in Rockford, so I don't have there to go to get music or books now. I usually go back to the clearance area first, and I'd go in there and see what they had.
You have a CD trader as well, Tim?
Yeah, I have a Pioneer 6 CD player, which
No, I mean CD trader, the store.
oh, we have a store called CD Source.
Okay.
So
Well, we
it's
don't have. Oops, I almost knocked my mic over. No, we don't have those here, but in Canada. But I know of these stores in the other place you just mentioned.
because the CD Source is just a few miles from my apartment, so
Oh wow.
I can catch a bus to get there. So,
Oh, you're in an apartment. I thought you lived in a house.
oh no, I've been in the apartments for since 2013
Wow.
or 2014 actually.
Okay. And
Because
same as Jorgen, all his life he's never been in a house. Jorgen's always had an apartment.
yeah, but see, this is a 3-bedroom apartment that I'm in, so.
With exception from the summer house that we had once but that was something different. It was just summer resident
Uh,
as a child.
and Jorgen
Was
was
it-
telling me
was
that
Was it by a lake where?
Pardon?
Was it like by a lake or?
It was a country house, an old one that was. My grandfather was actually born there and laid in a crib there. So it's an extremely old house, no toilets, no water closets. I was going to say so.
wow.
It was the very very old, and we had it every summer for during from '88 until. Well, the last time we were there was the beginning of the '00s, I think.
Huh.
So
It had an old outhouse.
yeah, definitely.
I used those plenty of times. I had some relatives that had a farm in Iowa that they didn't have a toilet in the house. Had to use the outhouse.
Wow.
I figured maybe you're this summer place that you had the summer residence. Was wondering you could go see the scantily clad girls go walking by.
Oh wow, really?
That's what I thought he said when he said the summer place was sick and that.
Ah.
Interesting thing is, when I was younger, when I was teenager and living there, I thought it was a pretty dull place. I mean, it is a place where it was close to my grandmother, to my cousins, my aunt all lived there and nearby. But I thought it was pretty dull place. When I look at it as a grown up, I thought it was a beautiful place. What if I could do something even if I can done something better with this place? So today I miss this place. But when I was a teenager, living on a countryside, nothing to do, I didn't think it was all that good. So you get very spoiled when you're younger.
So what happened to the place, Jorgen?
There was a problem when my grandfather died, and they're going to do some heritage because my grandfather was living with a woman that was not my grandmother. My grandmother passed away, and he remarried, and that other woman and their children, they made a claim on the some residence. So my mother and father sold it, and today I don't know if it's the house still stands up or not. I haven't been there for many years now.
Was it you, Jorgen, that told me recently that your landlord had changed all the doors on all the apartments in your building?
Yeah. We now have white doors. That's the closest thing to doors that I will get. I don't listen to Jim Morrison, so this is the closest thing to Doors I will get.
That's good, Kelvin. I remember that band when you introduced us to that. Yeah. Do you have a good landlord, Tim?
Well, we like the original ones, but they sold it during the apartments during the pandemic, like back in 2021, because a lot of residents weren't paying rent. With us, that's our biggest priority every month is paying our rent.
Yeah.
And now that with the apartment we're now with since that owner of it now has been here, we're about to start with the third uh, uh, property management company. Other two got fired, by the way. Sounds.
I wonder why they keep selling and getting new people in. It's been happening a lot all over the States too. Because I watched this guy called Cinestalker. He reviews movies and he takes you around town in LA and that. He's in the San Diego area. And he says a lot of the apartments, they evict him for no reason. He pays his rent. He's not an asshole. He takes care of the place, and then they evict him because they always get new people coming in to take over the whole building, and then they evict people for no reason. Like what's up with that?
Well, also I found out that we pay like $300 less than the people just moving in now for the same size apartment because have been here so long.
Yeah. I'm sure you'll find it, Calvin. Maybe Record Crate could find it for you if he's got the connections. And how long have you lived there, Jorgen, in your apartment?
Since 2000.
Oh yeah.
So a lot of people have come and gone here, but I'm still remain.
See, we've been in this apartment for almost 5 years now. It will be 5 years in August. So.
Well, you've been there for 23 years, Jorgen. That's a long time.
Yeah.
That way he doesn't have to bother with moving his hot records all the time.
It definitely is. I fear the day when I'm going to move all this old stuff. So it's better than not to do it.
And he's probably got more records in storage too.
I actually, the first place I lived in when I was moving from home, it was just one room, and then I had to have all the records in a drawer. And back then I didn't have as much records as I have right now. So you have to find the right size of the place.
Yep.
This is the summer resident.
Oh wow, that's a nice place.
Nice.
And there's the outhouse, I'm guessing.
Yeah, this is the main house, and that is the
outhouse.
House.
Wow.
There we were every summer, 88, 89, and so on. No, wait, not 89, because then it was rebuilt, but during the entire 90s, plus 88.
Pretty nice place.
We're extremely cozy, and some of the best landscapes that I ever seen.
I bet you would have loved to live there.
Not live it. It would be, you gotta have to have car to actually live there, and it would be pretty empty because many people right today use it as summer residence. There are very few.
Hey, Paul.
The new generations.
Hi, Paul.
The new generation of people who comes after those who lived there before, that they use it as summer residence, and very few who stays there. So it would be pretty empty if I lived there.
Yeah. Paul, you want to come up and join us?
I think he might be at work. He usually works on Saturdays.
Saturday? Wow.
Yeah, he has his not regular days off are Sundays and Mondays.
Oh, okay. Ah.
So are you going to be streaming tonight, Paul?
Well, I know my friend AGK. You know AGK, Tim?
Yeah.
Well, tonight he's doing a record auction.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, I'll be there because I'm the troll stomper. And when if Mark has to go, he takes care of all the people that win the bids and stuff like that. And when he's gone, uh, AGK is going to bring me up and let me try to do it because I think I can do it. I'm smart enough. People think I'm stupid, but I can try things. I just got to try, and I'm determined to do it. I'm excited to try. I want
Yeah.
to. I want to do it. I've watched all the streams before when he's done auctions. Hey, Paul, welcome.
Ta-da! Hello, gentlemen.
Ah,
Hello. I know it's been a bit. Tim, glad to see you're back in the swing of things. It's wonderful. Good to see you two gentlemen. James and Jorgen, been a while. Been a while.
See, I'm doing this every other Saturday. The Saturdays that Marla's working.
Tim, that's funny because I'm off on Saturdays now. Wednesdays and Saturdays I'm off.
Okay.
And to anybody that cares, I'll be on tomorrow, or excuse me, I'll be on tonight doing a broadcast. But yeah, so let's see here. I'm going sideways. I guess I will have to do this way. So I literally just came from Antique Mall. Would you like to see what I got?
of
Yeah,
course.
sure.
I hope I wasn't interrupting a conversation.
Oh no,
Was I interrupting a conversation? Because I don't want to be rude.
Not really.
Not at
Okay.
all.
I can't stay on too long, but I thought I'd stay on for a few minutes. So, considering that I'm holding it with one hand in the cell phone, you're not going to get what the records look like. But
That's okay.
these were all $5 a piece, except for the Elvis.
Oh, yep.
Yeah.
Paul and I have a fond memory of that with that album.
That's right. That's right. Because Tim and I got to see these guys, got to see the Ides, the whole original band. Unfortunately, I think there's two that are dead now, Tim, since
Yeah,
we saw them.
Yeah, I know that. It's like 2 or so.
And Tim and I got to be quickly chumly with Jim Peterick, of course, who ended up in Survivor. But Tim is a great concert-going friend to go with. Along with Scott and a handful of other ones. Because, I mean, Tim and I, we enjoyed the shows. We do our thing. And then, we're nice, polite, and cut and run. And then, so that one actually is going to go to my Arkansas bestie, Donna Jo Cat Lady. She's getting that because I already got the signed one that I have. But I didn't have this one. And this one's still in the shrink and near minty. This is the album After Vehicle.
Okay.
Good old Common Bond.
Yeah,
Now, yes, Tim?
my other Ides album is one on Road Woven.
Tim, see,
RCA products.
exactly, and I'm glad you brought that up because I'm still looking for the RCA Ide stuff. Most people don't know too much that they jumped to RCA. And I think they did 2 albums, right, Tim, on RCA?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I'll let you know. I had said something earlier. They closed the half-price books here in Rockford.
Yeah, Scott told me about that. I was sad. Oh, the things I found in that half-price book outlet. And if you people live near a half-price book or a half-price book outlet, go, because I found, what was it? The best find I ever found from that, Tim, was an original. It was in about VG Plus copy, 1959 Buddy Holly story on Coral, original press.
Well,
That was the best thing I ever found from there for $1.
Best thing I ever found. The best thing I ever found was okay. There were a couple times where I got the box full of films. 100 plus items. The first time was for $10, but then there it had Bob Dylan bootleg.
Ooh, that's fun. I like that stuff.
Seems like a freeze out on like orange vinyl.
Okay, on Ovation 1970. I haven't had a chance to to research this. I really don't know if Ovation was a Chicago area label. There was a lot of different people in the folk rock community that landed on Ovation. I think Steve Goodman was on there at one point. Of course, Bonnie Kolak, where I hope I'm pronouncing that right. But this one here from 1970, Sidewalks Talking, Hollins and Starr. I really don't know a lot about this, but I did cheat and looked it up on Discogs, and there was a decent thing on it. I normally don't do that. But this next one here, I never heard of. I only got 5 albums, guys, so I'll try to be quick. But I know you probably can't see this very well, so I'll just read it to you. It's Louis Gasca. And most of these were in shrinks, which was fun. Now, Louis Gasca, this is on Blue Thumb, all right? And I'll tell you who's on this thing. This is the reason why I grabbed it. So Louis Gasca does trumpet and flugelhorn stuff, right? Now, Joe Henderson I've heard of before. He's on tenor sax. But that's not why I bought that. On guitars, it says Carlos Santana and Neil Schon. Then and then on piano, electric piano, Mark Levine and Greg Raleigh. So you're talking original Santana lineup people here. Mike Shreve on drums, Stanley Clark on bass, Mike Carabello on congas, Coke, I hope I'm pronouncing this right, Escovedo. He's another one that worked with Santana on timbales, and then lastly Snooky Flowers, who's been a session 60s, 70s, 80s on percussion. So basically Louis is backed by Santana, the original lineup on Blue Thumb, nice and minty. Now, this last record is not nice and minty. I wish it was nice and minty. I normally don't go for Elvis albums anymore. I would rather have 45s, but they were selling everything in the booth was 50% off, all right? And I know that you're going to probably say this is 1966, if I remember correctly. Stereo copy of Elvis Presley Spin Out. Ooh. You can see the hype sticker is still attached. Now, why did I get this if it was in such kind of crummy shape? Because as you see, the hype sticker said, special bonus for a limited time only. Full color photo of Elvis inside this album.
Wow.
Nice,
that is cool.
Minty, no bends, no corner dings. Yes. So for $7, I bought it because of this. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
And there's more, but I'm not that I'll share on my show, because I'm telling you, I did real good at this one flea market stall. I could not get over it. I found psych and some folk, and it was fun. Yes.
Let me show you.
I'll shut up now.
Okay, Paul. Have you seen this record before?
Yes, that's a great record.
I got it for 89 cents.
89 cents? What? Oi, such a deal. That's what I gotta say. Such a deal.
That's what the thrift stores or the Salvation Armies charge for their records around here.
I wish people were charging 89 cents for records here. Goodwill got ridiculous in the last 2 months.
I don't
know about up there.
Well,
it's ridiculous.
With some books. Around the lowest price book I saw there at the one we went to is $2.49 for book.
Yeah.
Well, but
in the private chat, this is a concert I'm going to. My sister's taking me to next Friday here in New Brunswick.
That's Elvis impersonator.
Apparently, this guy's the real deal.
Who is it?
I forget his name.
He's that memorable. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Well, I heard he's good. I saw some clips of him doing Elvis. He sounds like you close your eyes, you think it's Elvis.
Gonna
So I'm
patch
really
it up,
excited for that.
baby. Gonna patch it up.
And I
Sorry.
just got the album
I've had
Rudy Blue.
that's my Elvis tune that's been stuck in my head on and off for a couple days. Written by, if I remember correctly, Eddie Rabbit. Yeah, Eddie Rabbit wrote that.
Wow.
Yeah, there's I know there's one his the company that he was that was going to produce him said no, don't give it to anybody. Like he was going to one show for Elvis to hear it, and the record label said, "Oh, if you have records it, you won't have anything out there because he wanted to use that as his debut song." But Elvis did it anyway with that Rain.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah, I was so that's what the story was. So Eddie didn't get a record contract till later on because of that. So
Yeah, at least he got his 2 tickets to paradise. It's just, I don't know. I see now. If it's all right, let me permit an inside look into something. This has to do with you and me for the public out there. Okay, maybe you've talked about this on your show. I don't know, but you see, Tim and I have been friends because we went to the same church for a few years, and we ended up having coffee talks and yapping about music, and we were pretty much on the same wavelength. And so I worked 1 year backstage for Eddie Money. That would be 2003, I want to say. And so at McHenry, Illinois, Fiesta Days. And my buddy John went off and he said, he goes, if you've got any more friends, we could use some extra security. And I go, I know exactly who I'm going to get for next year. And I called this guy here and I said, hey, you want to be security again for Fiesta Days? And he goes, well, who is it? And I go, Night Ranger. So me and Tim got to be backstage security for Night Ranger.
I still have the T-shirt.
Somewhere I do too.
Wow.
And yeah, and weren't they great, Tim? Everybody was in that. They were all nice to us.
Yeah, but us working the concert were the only ones they were doing autographs for.
That's true. That's true because I think they were going to, but then something happened. I don't know what, but.
And then Jack Blazer and I pulled out my Damn Yankee CDs.
That was pretty slick. You got me on that one, Tim. For some reason I forgot all about Damn Yankees, and you didn't. And I brought the Great White stuff because of Michael Lardy subbing in for Fitz for that tour. And then so we got all this. That was the great part. And then we get the minor letdown. But this one wasn't John's fault. We were said, hey, you guys did such a good job. That's what John said. We did such a good job. He goes, how about we do it again? And that was for 2006. And I said, who's it this time? 38 Special. And I'm like, hell yeah. I said, I love those guys. That was back when seeing 38. And I'm glad we saw 38 when we did, because I wouldn't go see him now. That's a tribute band now. But we get there, right, in our shirts. And what happens, Tim? We were all excited.
And they brought their own security with them.
Yep. And they didn't bother to tell John. And so that's how we got shut out of backstage at 38 Special. It was just a rock and roll. I don't know. It's just maybe we weren't wild-eyed Southern boys. That's why they didn't let us back there.
Yeah, we were too.
Maybe they wanted us back where we belonged. I could do this all day. As they're like, no.
We were too northern for them.
Yeah. But it was a great show, though, nevertheless. And you know, Tim, huh?
Too bad Jim Peterick wasn't there. Maybe he'd get us back there.
I'm telling you. I'm telling you. And you know, the 38 hasn't done an album since then. That tour we saw him on, Drivetrain, which is an okay album. Wasn't great, but
Yep. Well, I was going to be ending this went a little longer than I planned on since Paul was a late arrival.
sorry. I've been up since 5:30, but I've been busy.
I've been up since I got up when Marla got up to take her shower this morning. But the next show will be 2 weeks from today, same time. But I'm doing it every other Saturday. Saturdays that Marla works. So,
Tim, it's a nice alternative to the northern neighbor.
yeah.
And it works at a time that I can be here. It's 11 o'clock my time in the morning, so it's perfect for me.
And it's a good time for Jorgen also.
Yeah.
See, good. Maybe I will be an occasional. I'll try to remember.
Yeah.
I mean, you know my name. Look up the no. He already knows my number. All right, guys. One quick commercial.
David Strange name. One
quick commercial. Yeah. I'm hoping to be on tonight to do a Psycho Platter live stream. Not sure when yet. And let's see, what else was I going to say? Oh, that new Jukebox from Hell episode that I got up, the Tubes Love Bomb, which went really well. I had a minor message from Roger Steen, guitarist. It was interesting. I'm like, you guys do pay attention to these things. He's got a new solo album out. If you're big Tubes fans, guys, a new solo album. All right, I'll shut up. I love you guys. Have a great, fantastic day. Take care.
I was going to tell all of you, let your friends and enemies know that I'm back, and
I'll mention that in the broadcast.
And stuff. And
oh, Paul, before
9
you
a.m.
go,
Central Standard.
Davey's got a question for you both, you and Tim. So, you sang psalms together?
I was in the choir. Paul wasn't.
Yeah, I wasn't in the choir. The only thing I did in that church was try to pay attention, pray, and do the occasional. What do they call it, Tim? When the select person comes up and does the lessons before the sermon.
The lector.
Yeah. The lector.
I like doing those. I used to do those on occasion.
I did that too.
I did those also. Like some people told me that they thought I was good at it. And,
well, you were.
Well, I'm good. I'd say it's time to end this. Until the next time, it's 2 weeks from today. Take it easy and keep on rocking.
Take care. Mm-hmm.
So, Jorgen, seeing we've talked this morning, because I'm going to have to take a nap later,